All right, what about number 3? What are you going to add and subtract on number 3? What you got? Which numbers? 2 and negative 3, right? All right, so use your calculators. Just type it in. 2 plus negative 3. What'd you get? Negative 1 e to the second. All right, what else can you add? Negative 5 and 7. So type that in. Negative 5 plus 7. Guys, what kind of 2 is that? A positive. So you put a plus 2e. Can you add those? So you're done. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4 got a little messed up because you weren't using your calculators. All right, what number's right here? 1. All right, so what can I subtract? 2x to the second, okay, and what else? And 1x to the second. Very good. So I'm going to type in 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2, a lot of you put a regular 1. That's not a regular 1. What is that? A negative 1x. Or you could just put negative x squared, right? All right, last thing. Here we go. What you got? Yeah. So I got negative 3, subtract 5. What do you get? There you go. All okay? Yeah? No? All right, where does that go? In your binder, what section? Workshops. Put it in there real quick before you forget. Go. All right. Then we got our ACT from yesterday. We're going to go over it. Put your phones up. Come on. We got a lot of stuff to do today. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Trying to get it so you don't have homework, okay? All right. We're going to go over 1, 2, and 3 from yesterday. So grab those real quick. 1, 2, and 3 from yesterday. Ready? Okay, if you've never taken the ACT before, what does it tell you to do right here? You're going to do all your work right here, right? Okay, so here we go, guys. How you do not start by reading the whole thing. You start by reading the question. What is the question?
What is the probability that Louis will
Okay, so we got Luis. He's an officer, but they don't want him to be chosen, right? So how many members are there altogether? What did it tell us? 32. But they want them to not be an officer. So what should I do to the 32 and the officers? There you go. What'd you get? So what's the probability that one person will be chosen that's a member but not an officer? 1 out of 27. One person out of 27 total. Guys, don't just circle it, okay? Make sure you have this work that goes with it, okay? All right, what about number 2? Number 2, I should probably start by drawing what? 2 triangles. What did it say? Triangle ABC and D, E, F. Y'all okay? All right, look right here. Look at A. A is on the left side of the triangle. What other one over here is on the left side? D. So that means A and D have to match up, right? Does it say that A and D match up? What does it say? So that one is not right, because it wanted us to find the one that was true. Okay, what about K? K says that C has to match up. It's on the right side. Which one's on the right side over here? Does C match up with F? Yes, it does. They're both on the right-hand side. Is that what this says? All right, but before we check it, let's make sure, okay? So let's see. AB, right here. Which one does it have to be the same as? Which one's the same on the other one? DE. That's not what that one says. It says DF. This is AC on the bottom. What's the other one on the bottom? All right, is that what that says? Nope. And BC, right here on the right-hand side, has got to match up with, is that what that says? Nope. So our answer is K. Y'all okay? All right, what about number 3? Number 3, I am not going to do anything because it already tells me 65 in the picture. It already tells me 100 in the picture. I'm going to start by the question. What's the question at the very end? And the measure of angle ABC is X. Where is X? You see it? Y'all okay? Time is money on the ACT. The time you waste means the problems you can't get correct, means the scholarship that you may not get. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? So you look at the picture first. Look at the question. Just the question. Don't waste your time reading all this. All right? Right here. You know a triangle adds to be how much? 180, right? So I've got to figure out this little piece. And what do I know about a straight line? It adds up to how much? So if this is 100, what's this one have to be? 80. And now I know my triangle. So take your, ooh, Lord, that's a messed up looking line. So take your calculator. Here we go. 180 minus 80 minus 65. That's going to give you this little guy right here. 35. Very good. Which was C. Are y'all okay? All right, here we go. Put that away. Put that in your math workshop /ACT. All right, here's your first calendar. So where's it supposed to go, guys?
Calendar tab.
Calendar tab. Very first tab, right? Very first tab. Very first tab. All right, do you see it? What did we do Wednesday? Remember? Pass them up, Ramiro. What did we do Wednesday? Nobody remembers what we did Wednesday, the very first day of school? Whatever syllabus. What else did we do? Remember? Remember that little game we all walked around and played? Yeah, little scavenger hunt thing. Okay, what did we do Thursday? What did we do yesterday? Classroom procedure. We played the Kahoot game, right? All right, today, since we played that Kahoot game yesterday, we are not going to have a classroom procedures test, so you can mark that out. We split one of your other chapters into two. Okay, so what's it say we're going to do today? Notes. All right, now look, I do not want you to freak out when you get these notes, because they're kind of a big packet, right? But it's the entire unit. It's the entire thing. Like, guys, look, I'm giving you like 2 weeks. 2 weeks of notes. And where should they go? In your notes, right? Go ahead and get your binder. Get it ready to turn. Alright, y'all okay? Okay. So I'm going to try to go through this pretty quick so that y'all can have time to do homework at the end. But what should you do if I'm going way too fast? Just tell me to slow down, right? Okay, what's the very first thing we're going to learn how to do? I can classify real numbers. Okay, so let's flip to page 1. Here we go. Go. Right here. See that little chart? That chart? That's going to be your little friend right here. Okay, look. Every single number is in this box. Every single one is classified as what? How'd you know that R stood for real? Because that's right here, right? Everything is classified as a real number. Y'all okay so far? All right, then from there it splits into 2 sections. What are those 2 sections? How'd you know Q stood for rational? Because it's right here. How'd you know I stood for irrational? It's right there. Y'all okay? All right, keep that handy. Let's do one thing at a time. Let's go flip to the back of that, and let's do 1 through 8. You ready? 1 through 8. Every single number is classified as what? A real. So what should I do to every single number on 1 through 8? Put an R right next to all of them. Here we go. Go. Real quick. Real, real, real. All the way down. All right, then from there it splits into two groups, right? It splits into either rational, which was what letter? Q, or irrational, which is what letter? I. You ever had an irrational friend that was like just being crazy, and you just had to say, I gotta walk away for a minute before I say something to you I'm gonna regret, right? You dealt with people like that, they're crazy. All right, the same thing with irrational numbers. They're crazy. So let's look at number 1, negative 185. Is that a cool number? Like, can I deal with that? Is that okay? Yeah, right? So what would I classify him as? Real, rational, or irrational? Rational. So what am I going to put next to the R? So number 1 is a rational number. He's Q. All right, what about number 2? 4 ninths. I don't know yet. So I'm going to take my calculator, and I want to turn 4 ninths into a decimal. So I do 4 divided by 9. What do you get? Okay, now here's the way you do decimals, right? This decimal is not crazy. Why is this not crazy? What do you notice? It's all the same, right? It's got some kind of a pattern. So am I going to classify this as rational or irrational? Rational, because he's got some kind of a pattern. He's not being just completely crazy. Square root of 95. Do y'all remember how to type this in? All right, look. See this little button right here? Every calculator is the same. No matter what calculator you have, find your x squared button. Right above it is going to be that square root button. It's going to be either in blue or some kind of color. So you hit your second button, and then this button. And it should pop that up on your calculator, okay? Y'all try that real quick. Type in square root of 95 and see what you get.
7.9.746, 7.4.
Does that have any kind of a pattern? Does this have any kind of a pattern whatsoever? No. So he's a little crazy. He hadn't done anything rational. He's all out in left field. So would I classify him as rational or irrational? Irrational, because his decimal has no kind of pattern. All right, what about 5? The number 5 on number 4.
That's rational.
That's a rational number, right? He's okay. All right, what about number 5, square root of 21? How much is square root of 121? It's 11, right? It reduces to 11. Is 11 a cool number? Like, is he rational? Yeah. Okay, what about number 6? 0.625738. That's irrational. There you go. Come on, let's go. What about 24 divided by 8? What is it? That's how much? 3. Is 3 rational or irrational? There you go. What about 0.37?
That's rational.
Why?
Because
Because it repeats. Look at you go. Look at you go. There you go. Y'all okay? Do you see how I'm working these out? If you at least put an R by every single number on a test, that at least gets you a half a point. Get you something, okay? All right, let's flip back over. So if I call them irrational, if you call your friend irrational, you're just going to walk away from them for a while, right? Until they calm down. So if you've got an irrational number, you're done. Is there anything else in this column? No. So which numbers am I finished with? 3 and 6, right? I'm done with 3 and 6. I've called them irrational. I'm done with them. All right, let's talk about the rational ones. The rational ones then can be classified as what? What's the Z stand for? Integers, right? Let's look up here. What is an integer? No, I can't call them whole numbers. Negative numbers, positive numbers, and 0. Are there any fractions in there? There ain't no fractions in there. So it's negative numbers, positive numbers, and 0. Do you want to know the way I remember it? It's a Z. Z goes all the way through the alphabet. So it goes all the way through all the numbers, all the negatives and all the positives. Maybe that'll help you, okay? All right, let's look at number 1. Is number 1 an integer? Can I classify him as an integer?
Yes.
Because he's a negative and he's not a decimal, right? So I'm going to put a Z. By the way, I put a slash through my Z's, so you can tell they're not 2's. All right, number 2. Is number 2 an integer? Why? Because it gives you a decimal. There you go. Is number 3 an integer? No. Why? What you got? Dylan, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
These are-
Number 2, yeah. Number 2, in order to be an integer, it has to be negative, positive, 0, and it also has to be not a decimal. This will be a decimal.
But, okay. But a fraction. It's a fraction can be integers.
Why did I write a Z there? I'm sorry, Dylan. No wonder you were confused. I don't know why. Wilmer just told me that it wasn't. We'll start back over. Does that good? Sound good? I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Number 2 is not an integer. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Number 3. Can I go any further with number 3? No. Okay, let's start back over on number 5. You ready? Let's start back over. Number 5. Or the number 5. Like literally the number 5. Can I classify that as an integer?
Yes.
Yes, because it is not a decimal and it's positive. What about the square root of 21?
Yes.
Why?
Because
Because
it returns
it reduced to 11. There you go. Number 6. Nope, it's an irrational. I'm done. Number 7.
Yes.
Yes, because it reduced to 3, right? Thank you, Dylan, by the way, for number 2. I'm sorry about that. And number 8. No. Why on number 8? Because it's a decimal. There you go. All right, let's flip back over. And from there, our integers go to whole numbers. What's the difference between integers and whole numbers?
Whole numbers aren't negative.
It chops off all the negatives, right? Okay, so if it chops off all the negatives, can I do number 1 any further? What about number 2? No, right? You can't just skip over 1. What about number 3? Number 3? No, it's irrational, right? I can't go any further with irrational. What about number 4?
Yes.
Yes, that one's not negative. What about number 5? Yes, because it reduced to 11. 6? No. 7? Because it reduced to 3, right? And 8? No, right? Because it's a decimal. Okay, last one. Here we go. Last one. Natural numbers. Natural numbers. What happens to natural numbers? It chops off the negatives and the zeros, right? Here's the way I think about it. Do you naturally count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Do you naturally count that way? Yes. So you naturally count. So number 1, do I naturally count negative 185? No. Number 2, do I naturally count 4 9s? No. Number 3, do I naturally count square root of 95? Do I naturally count 5? Yes. All right, number 5. It reduces, right, to 11, and I naturally count to 11. So that's natural. Do I naturally count 0.625738? No. Do I naturally count to 3?
Yes.
Yeah. And then what about number 8? Is that natural? No. Did you got it good? All right, here we go. Number 1 says to simplify. Your mama says to clean up your room. She basically means simplify, right? You're going to make sure everything's off the floor. You're going to make sure everything's picked up and put away. So number 1, what can you do? We've been doing this for the past 2 days. Go. Which ones can I combine?
8.
All right, perfect. Let's look at 8 and 4. What kind of 8 is that? What kind of 4 is that?
Positive.
So in other words, it's telling me 8 plus 4. What's that? 12b. All right, what kind of 3 is this?
Negative.
What kind of 9 is that?
Positive.
So it's telling me negative 3 plus 9. How much is that? What kind? Positive 6c. There you go. We'll take that further later, okay? All right, number 2. What would you do first? There you go. Go ahead and try that real quick. Be careful. Use that calculator if you need to on those negatives. There's no shame in using a calculator. The shame comes from getting something wrong that you could use a calculator on. All right, Jalen, help me out. Distribute that 2 for me. What you get? Perfect, Jalen. Very nice. Very nice. All right, Mallory, can you help me out on the negative 9? What'd you get? Positive 18G minus 36K. Very nice. Negative 9 times negative 2 is a positive 18. Perfect. All right, Lynn, what else did you do from there, buddy? See anything you can find? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Negative 10 plus 18. How much is that? Anybody? 8. Positive 8G. Perfect. All right, then you got a positive 12K minus 36K. What's 12 minus 36?
Negative 24.
Negative 24K. And we'll take that further later, okay? Y'all okay? Yeah? Okay, what about number 3? You're going to distribute something. Do you see a little number understood to be there that you're going to distribute? Where's that 1 at? After the negative, but before the parentheses. Very good. So you can distribute that. Go. Distribute that negative 1. All right, when you distribute that negative 1, AJ, can you help me out? What'd you get when you distribute that negative 1?
2.
What kind of 2? Negative 2. All right, and what else?
4.
What kind of 4?
Positive.
Pause. Look at you. All right, guys, what do I do with the stuff in the front? You just bring it down. There you go. All right, you see anything? Negative 3y and 4y, right? Okay, now look, I got to write these in standard form. What the heck is standard form? The what, Wilmer? Alphabetical order. There you go, Wilmer. Which one's first then? 9x. Then my y's. What's negative 3y plus 4? What kind of 1? Positive 1y. Or you could just put plus y, right? And then what's last? The constant by itself, minus 2. Very good. Okay? All right, here we go. Let's try to get through number 4 pretty quick. Here we go, here we go. Ooh-hoo-hoo. How do you make any number a fraction? How do you make any number a fraction? What do you do to a number? Divided by what? What number? 1. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to distribute. I have 1/3 times 5. And how did I make that 5 a fraction again? Put a 1 under it. Very good. So multiply. What would you get? 5 over 3x. Perfect. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Yes, sir.
So you don't cross multiply on this. You just.
No, you don't cross multiply because there's no equal sign.
Okay.
Yep. If there was an equal sign, then you could. All right, let's do the next one. 1/3 times 8. How do I make that 8 a fraction? There you go. So multiply, and what would you get? 8 over 3y. Very good. Y'all okay so far? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, all right, let's keep going. 1/4. What's 1/4 times 6? 6/4. But hold on a minute. By what number? 2. Divide them by 2. And what would you get? 3 over 2. Very good. What you got? Sure.
Yes.
All right, last one. You ready? 1/4 times -2. What's that give you? -2/4. That is -1/2, Nathan. Very good. Anybody lost about where I got -1/2 from? Okay, who in here likes dealing with fractions? Anybody? I don't really either like dealing with fractions. So, I can get rid of these fractions, okay? Let's look at the bottom, guys. What are the denominators? 3 and 2. So, to get rid of them, I can multiply by the common denominator. What denominator would be 3, would make 3 and 2 the same? 6. So if I want to get rid of these fractions, so I don't have to deal with them, I can multiply everything by the common denominator, which is 6. Are y'all okay? Did I lose anybody there? You can still add fractions the old way, it's just a little bit longer. Okay, how do you make 6 a fraction? All right, here we go. You ready? Multiply these two. What do you get? 30. Multiply the bottom. What do you get? 3. What's 30 over 3? 10x. Are y'all okay? If you need to write that step, you want me to write that step for you? You may need me to write that step, 30 over 3? All right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. So we did that one. Let's do this one. What's 6 times 8? 48. On the bottom, I would get, what's 48 over 3? Use your calculator. 48 divided by 3. 16. Very good. All right, we did that one. Let's go to the next one. What's 6 times 3? 18. On the bottom, I would get, 18 over 2 is 9. All right, last one. Here we go. What's this one going to give me? 6 over 2. And what's 6 over 2? What's 6 divided by 2? 3y. There you go. One last step. Here we go. What you see? Common. What's common? Which gives me? There you go. What else? What gives me? What kind? So I'm going to put plus 13y. Are y'all okay? Yeah? Okay, here we go. So, on your calendar, after it said we were going to do page 1 and 2, hold your place, look back at your calendar, go. Hold your place, look back at your calendar, go. Back in front, back in front, back in front, should be in front. All right, after page 2, what's it say that we're going to start? Start the expressions. What page numbers? We already did all 2, so we're going to do a tiny bit of page 3, okay? We're just going to do 2 problems. 2 problems, and then we're done. And then you should have about 5 minutes to do your homework. Your homework should take you no longer than like 5 minutes anyway. All right, you ready? It says evaluate. If you meet a new person, you evaluate them. You figure out if they're crazy or if they're somebody you can talk to, if they're all that good stuff, right? So I'm going to evaluate A for what number? -2. So instead of saying 2 times A, I'm going to say 2 times -2. Y'all okay so far? All right, what comes right after that? Plus, then what? Parentheses. And then I'm going to evaluate B. What is B? 3. What came after that? Plus 3, and all of that is squared. Okay? All right, remember order of operations? What was the order of operations? What letter first? Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? All right, you see any parentheses? What you see? 3 plus 3 is 6. You see any exponents?
Yes.
Yeah, what's 6 squared? It's not 12.
36.
It's 6 times 6, which is 36. Very good. All right, you see any multiply? 2 times negative 2 is how much? Negative 4. You see any divide? You see any add? What you see? All right, what's that give you? 32. Yep. Okay. All right, here we go. One more. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Last one. 5c. I'm not going to say 5 times c. I'm going to say 5 times what? Look at you go. Then what does it say? Minus 2. Then it's got a bracket. Guys, a bracket is just a fancy parentheses, okay? It's just there to help you separate things. So you had a bracket and then a parentheses. And then it says b minus a. So what's b? 3 minus what's a? So it's 3 minus negative 2. b minus a. Does that make sense? All right, and then it says plus c is 4.2, and then a bracket. Shoo-wee. All right. You see any parentheses? What you see? 3 minus negative 2. What's 3 minus negative 2? 5. Very good. Just bring that stuff down in the front. You see more parentheses? Yeah, because remember those brackets were just a fancy parentheses, right? So I got these brackets right here. What's this give me? 9.2. Very good. All right, you see any exponents? No? You see any multiplication? Yeah? What you see? All right, what's 5 times 4.2? How much? 20, 21? Very good. See any other multiplication?
Yes.
What you see? 2 times 9.2 is how much? 18.4. Now what? What you got when you subtract them? There you go. Y'all okay? Yeah or no? Yeah? Okay. All right, so we're done with those. Cool. So what's it say on your calendar in the homework tonight? Page 5. So go ahead and flip to page 5. So you have a number 1 through 12, right? Remember doing these just a few minutes ago? All right. So let's see. We've got about, we get under 58, so you have 8 minutes. You have 8 minutes, okay? So if you hustle, you might not have any homework. actually zeros a couple of things.